fly is quite simple. The hook I'm using, this is a Fully Mill competition heavyweight, size 10. Now I'm using a Chartreuse thread. This one here is from Uni, it's the 80. Just going to run the wax through to get it started. Just going to stop that squeaking a wee bit. And what we're going to do is start at the eye of the hook. We just run down, layer a thread down. Just using the waste piece as a guide to get to the point where we're just starting to come round the bend. And I'm going to take 2 fibres from either side of this tail of the blue and yellow macaw. Take them out, get them together. They'll stay together anyway, they're quite stubborn when it comes to coming apart. They will quite easily marry back together, but that's fine. What I like to do is line them up so they're curving away from the hook. So basically what you're doing is it's just so that they've got a lot more movement. That's the way I like to see them. So wanting the curve, the actual curve of the feather or the fibre coming away, just making sure that the ends have lined up. Tail length, you're looking at least twice the shank length. So here's 1, 2. Then we can tie this on. You can have them longer if you want. It's entirely up to yourself, or shorter. Now pinch on the top, 2 or 3 turns. Now you can see how they're curving away from the hook. Now what I like to do is get my dubbing needle and just split them. And you'll get them to split quite easy, come away from one another. Now the 2 top fibres, what I like to do is figure 8 through them. That will separate these. And you'll see how they come away. Just get that. Cause them to separate. But they will, if you pull them together, they'll stick, they'll marry back together. But that gives you a lot of movement in the fly. Trim away the waist, the full length of the body. I've got an oval gold tinsel. This is a small. Just take my thread up. Now at this point I like to make sure everything's neat and ready for our seal's fur in the body. And I'm using a golden yellow. And the golden yellow is this, like I would say an Invicta yellow, some would call that. But it's called a golden yellow. It could be SLF or seal's fur or whatever you have. Just dub this on. Slide it up. We start with anchor points at the hook, so we just then tighten onto that so we can tighten the dubbing as we wind up. And we want some sort of taper. Now this warm yellow, just to basically give the impression of the colour of the macaw body. As I say, this was tied just for a bit of fun, but it does catch fish, so that's why I'm tying some more. And it's a colour combination that works. Now what we want to do is get it was a natural grey feather I dyed yellow. You'll see the golden yellow, same colour, which is on the seal's fur. But what I've done is I've dyed this. This was a grey or a dun hackle. It was a mate's grade 2 saddle. Now take away the fluff. Just make sure this is tied in. Take away the stem. There's a wee bit of wax on my thread. Now what I want to do is put 2 to 3 turns at the top. This is a softer fibre you normally get at the bottom of these feathers, and then we come down 3 to 4 times. Just going to come round, first turn with the oval tinsel at the back, and then as we wind up, then we can form a rib. This last one I'm just going to draw this over, and then cross my thread nice and tight. Make sure this is secure. Trim away the waist. You can break this off. And there, that's our body done. Now I've got a blue hackle. You can see there a bit better. Obviously with my blue shirt you'll not see it, but there you are. You're looking for like a kingfisher blue. Not too dark, I don't like it too dark. Screw this in. Get my hackle pliers. Now what we do is basically fold the hackle. Only want a couple of turns, not much more than that, just a highlight. That's fine. Then we can trim away. And again, just going to run the wax through. Draw back anything going forward, and then we can tidy this area up, ready for what you tie in a French Partridge hackle, dyed. Especially it's a pale olive. There we are. We tie this in by the tip. First thing I do is take away what I don't need. Then reveal the tip of the feather. Now you're seeing the underside. Catch this on. 2 or 3 turns, you can fold this back, 2 or 3 turns, take your thread down. Just slip your fingers back and there's the tip will pop out. But keep a hold of the feather and we can then trim this away. And then we can wind our hackle. Now I'm looking at the amount of material there, I don't need all that, so it's quite easy to remove some of these fibres. Just keep a tight hold of the hackle here and we can take these out, both sides. And then we can wind this on. Just throw it back, doing one turn in front of the other. Just stroke the fibres back. Just take your time. I'd like these fibres to sit right. If not sitting right, I'll always go back. When you're happy, we then can catch in the hackle. 2 or 3 turns. Now the hackle's thin enough that I can fold it back. And then we can form a head with the thread. We can get the stem of the feather. It's well tied in. We can break that off or cut it away. Always keeping the thread as tight as you can and then let it finish. Then we're going to bring the hackle out. Let's take the twists out. As you wind the hackle, you'll obviously twist the fibres when you wind the hackle on. You can just bring these back. And once that's had a swim, it looks the part. Now, let's see how it's looking okay. A wee bit of varnish on the head, all the way around. And there you are, that's what I call the Macaw Mayfly. This is a good pattern. I would try a few of the lochs, but Loch Mask is a good place, and certainly colour it suits there, but it suits quite a few. Melvin and even the Corb, you do well with that. So you see, it's unusual. Get a lot of movement in the tail. Having it tied like that, you can tie it in whatever way you like. It's the way I like to get it tied. Very kind of like swallowtail like, if you want to call it, but you get a lot of movement in the fly. It's a nice colour that works extremely well, so I hope you enjoyed that.